It was a quiet night when Emily found herself wandering the dark streets alone, the cool autumn air nipping at her skin. She had stayed late at the library, lost in her studies, and now the streets were nearly deserted, save for the occasional passing car. The night seemed calm, but there was an unsettling stillness in the air, one that made her quicken her pace. As she passed by an old ivy-covered building, she felt it, eyes watching her. She glanced around but saw no one. The streetlights flickered as if the electricity was faltering, casting long, eerie shadows. Trying to shake off the growing sense of dread, she continued walking, but the feeling only intensified, creeping up her spine. Suddenly, a soft voice called out from the shadows. "Lost, are we?" Emily froze, her heart pounding in her chest. From a darkened alleyway, a figure emerged, tall, pale, and dressed in an old-fashioned black coat. His eyes, gleaming unnaturally in the dim light, locked onto hers with an intensity that made her feel trapped. "No," Emily managed to whisper, trying to step back. But something about the man held her in place, as though his very presence demanded her stillness. The man smiled, his lips parting to reveal unnervingly sharp teeth. "You shouldn't be out so late," he said, his voice a soft, seductive purr that sent a chill through her. Before Emily could respond, he was standing right in front of her, faster than humanly possible. His cold fingers brushed against her cheek, sending a jolt of fear through her body. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The world around her seemed to blur, and all she could focus on were those gleaming, hypnotic eyes. "You're perfect," he whispered, lowering his mouth to her neck. Panic surged through Emily as she felt his breath on her skin, but she was powerless to move. The sharp pain of his fangs piercing her flesh was swift and cold, like icy needles driving into her veins. She gasped, her vision darkening as he drank deeply, her blood pulsing into him with each weakening heartbeat. But something strange happened as he fed. The pain subsided, replaced by a creeping numbness that spread through her body. Her fear dissolved into a strange, intoxicating calm, her mind growing hazy and distant. It was as if the world around her was fading, and all that remained was him, his presence, his hunger, and the cold darkness he brought with him. Emily's eyes fluttered as the world spun around her body growing weaker with every passing second. Just before she lost consciousness, she heard his voice one last time, soft and dangerous in her ear. "Don't worry," he whispered. "You'll wake up soon. But when you do, you'll belong to the night, just like me." As the darkness claimed her, Emily's last thought was that she would never see the daylight again. She would rise, yes, but not as herself. When she awoke, she would be changed. Her heartbeat would be silent, her body cold, and her hunger insatiable.